What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I wanted to just throw this in the beginning. Please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. That really helps our numbers. Also, check out the merch store at brennantcomedy.com/merch store to get your Ex-Drinking Buddy merch. And if you really want to, subscribe on Patreon, patreon.com/BrennanTassif. That really helps me out. I'm so happy to have everybody who listens. And thank you so much. Enjoy the episode.
Grab me a beer and grab me a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the program, quick rundown of the show. I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It was my favorite thing to do, hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and reminisce about crazy old stories. I am sober now, but that is still one of my favorite things to do, hang out with a friend and reminisce about the good old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by a guest. This week is no exception.
Let's go.
All the way from New York City, Kevin Sanchez. What's up, man?
What's up, baby?
How you doing, bro?
I'm chilling, bro. You know, skipping work.
Yeah, what's up?
Skipping work, doing drugs. Having fun.
Before we get too far into it, because we kind of started talking about this stuff before we even started recording, but plug everything up front. Tell everybody where you're going to be, what you got coming up, any podcasts you want to promote, anything like that.
Doped Up and Dying, the Sunday Morning Smoke Show podcast. It's just called Doped Up and Dying on iTunes. Anywhere you can find podcasts. Doped Up Comedy Club every weekend. 66 Greenpoint. Last Saturday we had Big J.
Yeah.
Last Saturday we had it was the best lineup I've ever seen put together. And it was like everyone matched up lovely. It was fucking crazy, bro. It was one of the best comedy shows I've seen live. And yeah, that's about it right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We met.
One more thing.
Yeah, go.
Mongol and Oxtails in Harlem and soon to be Brooklyn is my private show. I got to get you on that motherfucker.
Okay.
It's going to be.
What is it called?
Mongol and Oxtails. I'm Dominican, so we eat Mongol. And my Jamaican brother, DC Williams, who I also do Doped Up and Dying with, he's Jamaican, so we call it Mongol and Oxtail.
Mongol and Oxtail.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's go, boy.
Well, thank you for coming on. We met, we were hanging outside of the stand one night, and Dan Lamort, friend of the show, he's coming back on here soon, my good buddy, introduced us, and we just started talking, and this is something we were talking about outside, is that we are of the age where we know how to communicate with people outside of the internet and social media and stuff.
We're the generation of phones, bro.
Yeah.
We're the generation of this. You know
Calling
what I mean?
people,
when we mimic calling people, we do this still.
Yeah. And it was so weird because we hit it off and I was like, I have to get you on the podcast. And then we made it happen in record time. It took like 2 weeks and 3 weeks and you were on.
That never happens.
There's so many people where they're like, yeah, sure, I'll come on. It's like 3 months later. There's Tori Cole, when we did her episode, it was like 8 months after I originally asked her to come on.
Jesus
but
Christ.
she was busy and then I was still recording in my apartment. So that's obviously sketch asking, it'd be like, hey, you want to come to my apartment? But like, so you and I was like, I'm going to get you on. And then bing, bang, boom, you're on. And it was one of those things where we were just talking about this outside, but the reason I rail against social media so much is because I'm bad at it. And so I'm like, fuck this, like these kids. But there is a point where some, and I'm going to sound like the old man, get off my lawn, but where some younger people are bad in social situations, like in person.
It's because they're like in person, like they're pussy in person. Like they're so scared of being wrong. They're so scared of like saying the wrong thing.
Well, and you can't backspace in person. Like you put it out there. And there's so many times, and I know you've done this too because we're similar in this way. There's so many times where I've thrown something out there as like thinking like, oh, this will be funny.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks at you and you're like, that was over the line.
Every time I'm drinking, baby.
Yeah.
Every time I'm drinking, baby.
Let's get into it. I wanted to ask you first how so you're from New York, correct?
I'm from East Harlem.
Okay.
Born and raised. Jeff Mob Project. Let's go, baby.
Shouts out.
Shout out.
Gang, gang.
Shout out. Gang, gang. Son, you ain't never lived like me. They ain't never lived like me.
When I had Jared on Waters, because we're both from Florida, we were both going back and forth like 386, 941, like yeah.
212, baby.
Yeah.
I said, this is crazy. I'm a crazy person, bro. So
you and me both.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Especially to do this.
Dog, like, I heard that you can make a decent amount of money if you have a 212 number.
You can.
Right? My mom had a 212 number for 50 years. Damn. Right? The same number.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell it. Like, that's what my mind is. Like, my mom has fucked up so incredibly with just not taking chances in life. Right? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to take everything that you have. I'm going to make more.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know. I don't even know why I just said that.
It's the 212. No, but the two, because we were talking about 212, shout out. It's that I've heard before the pandemic hit, because after the pandemic, sadly, with a lot of people dying, I was at T-Mobile the other day, and the guy helping me. But listen, I was getting a new phone, and I go, I need to change my number. Because long story short, I have an Oklahoma City number, because I lived in Oklahoma City for like 2 months. And I was like, and I happened to get a new phone while I was up there. Like I switched from AT&T to T-Mobile, so they gave me an OKC number. Okay. So I've born and raised in Florida my whole life. Literally have only lived outside of Florida other than New York for like 2 months in Oklahoma City, but I have an Oklahoma City area code. And I was talking to the dude at T-Mobile, and I go, I want to change it, but isn't it all 646? He goes, no, actually, because so many people died during the pandemic, there's a lot of 212 numbers up for grabs. And I was like, fucking
the old heads.
Yeah.
All the old heads who had the 212 numbers.
And then,
just fucking bogarting that shit.
Because I was talking... You're dead. I was talking to a buddy of mine back home who lived in New York for a while, and he said that there's some businesses that have paid upwards of $10,000 to people to get the 212 number.
That's what because it matters in terms of how long you've had the number. So some businesses do. They'll go, we've been established for as long as that phone number's been around.
Oh, so if people look it up, it's like, that phone number's been around for 50 years.
I don't know who will look up the phone number to see how long it's been around.
I mean, you can do that, though.
But you could do that.
Yeah.
So they'll pay an arm and a leg.
Damn. Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk, speaking of coming up in East Harlem, so have you always been a fan of stand-up? Like, what got you into comedy?
Oh.
Like, do you remember how that happened?
I know exactly how it happened, and people shit on this guy all the time, and sometimes rightfully so, but it was Dane Cook. It was Dane Cook.
It's awesome that you say that, because...
And I love Dane Cook.
The listeners know... When I saw his Comedy Central Presents, because I've been obsessed with comedy since I was 12, when my cousin introduced me to it, the same one I live with in Oklahoma City, I would see like Mitch Hedberg and Tom Rhodes and stuff, and I would watch it, and I'd go, this is awesome, but that's not me. And then I saw Dane Cook rip his shirt off and pour the water on him, and I go, I want to do that. And that's exactly what got me into comedy, was Dane Cook.
I didn't want to be on stage, because that's not me.
Yeah.
Dane Cook is not me. I wanted my buddy who introduced me to Dane Cook he was like basically imitating Dane Cook in high school.
Yeah, same thing.
And so I was like, dude, let's be a writing team. You get on stage.
So you were going to do the jokes and then have him do the...
We work on them together.
Yeah.
But like, I wanted him to perform. You know, we always got together on the weekends. We would try to write bits. But we didn't.
So was this in high school?
High school.
Damn.
And then he would always bail. Like we were going to plan to go to comedy clubs. We didn't know how this shit worked. We didn't know about open mics and nothing like that. And he kept bailing. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this myself. And then I saw George Lopez.
Something done right. Okay.
And then I said, I quit. I saw George Lopez and I was like, I can't. He took all the Spanish jokes.
You literally, before you even started, you're like, I'm going to do this myself. And then you saw George Lopez and you go, never mind. I'm not
that good. I'm not that fun. He took because it felt like, when you don't know comedy and you don't know that, like, you could talk about your own experiences and they could be similar, but you're gonna add your own twist because this is your motherfucking life.
Yeah,
he was so good that, and he was able to take Latinos, and I didn't know Mexicans acted like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, dog.
You didn't know everyone.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought like this was unique to us, right? Yo, bro, he had some that when I heard with him, like his grandmother going, his grandfather going. I got a pain in my chest and I can't breathe. And his grandmother walking in, you got a pain in your chest and you can't breathe. I was like, yo, that shit just resonated.
That's just how it is.
I just quit. I was like, he got it. He got all the Spanish jokes. He did it.
George Lopez, you got it, man.
You got it, dog. You won. And then I went to the Army.
Okay, when was that? Right after high school?
Nah. The reason why I joined the Army is because I was working at this gay club, like this gay restaurant in Chelsea, and rooftop restaurant. And it was two things happened. Obama hit his second term, and I was a senior in high school watching his inauguration. And I was like, I hadn't done shit in 4 fucking years.
Oh, so you were like, I remember when he got inaugurated the first time.
Yeah, and I was like accomplishing.
And now it's 4 years later. And
4 years later, I don't got a degree. I'm not even close to it. I've been working at this restaurant, and there was this old dude who I was upset because he was here. We just hired him for this party, and I was upset because he looked old, and I'm like, gay motherfuckers don't like old dudes. They're like, you're gonna ruin my money tonight, bro.
Yeah,
like we could have made $350 because of you, because your stink face is around. And I was treating him like I was a young man.
Yeah,
you know, you have that bravado as a young man.
Oh yeah.
And I was by the way, timepiece. Well, I was gorgeous. I was so fucking beautiful, bro. It was like people, like women didn't believe. Women would come up to me and ask me if I had work done.
Really?
That's how hot I was. Okay, and no, bitch, I didn't. These lips real. They're not turned inside out.
So what happened? Obama's getting inaugurated the second time, and you were like,
and then at the end of the night, because I was like being an asshole to this guy the whole night.
yeah.
He goes, I used to be like you.
Oh.
I said, what you mean? He goes, I'm 48 years old. 18 years ago, I was just like you, making good money, doing the thing. You remind me a lot of myself. And the next day, I went into a recruiting office.
For real, you were like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing
I need
this.
to do something. I need to accomplish something that most people can't. So I joined the Army infantry with my brother.
Okay. And so you were 20 when you did that?
23.
23? And then
23.
How long were you in the Army for?
I did a solid 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I was in and out.
I was going to say,
contract.
okay.
I did one contract. They tried to get me, and it was tempting to re-enlist.
Yeah.
But Donnie T was in office.
The greatest.
You
know.
This is what people don't know.
Re-enlist.
This is what people don't know about the military. People think that first of all, 71 million people voted for that man.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot of motherfuckers. Okay?
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people that like that guy. In the military, 10% came from that. We love a Republican in office.
Oh, yeah.
Because money goes up.
Yeah.
For us.
I remember when I was in college and I had stopped playing football and I was getting like, my drinking was getting out of control. And I was like, same kind of thing though. I was like, God, I got to do something. And my grandfather was an original Green Beret. Like when they first started the Green Berets. He was like an OG.
Way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is he alive?
No. He passed away about 10 years ago. But he has a picture of him with like JFK when they're doing the whole like, when they're starting the
So sorry.
the Green Beret. No, you're good. But so they started it as Special Forces and then it adapted and evolved and then eventually became the Green Beret. So he had been in since they started the Special Forces.
You know how bad of a motherfucker your uncle, you say uncle?
Grandfather.
Your grandfather is? You know how bad that motherfucker was?
OG.
I mean,
yeah.
the man
yeah. So
I would love to have a conversation.
But I remember, yeah, we used to talk about it all the time. And then he actually started writing his memoirs about the Army and stuff before he passed. So some of them, because he was, in his mid 80s when he passed away. But shouts out to Detto. My first special is going to be, because he used to always sing in the car and he had a good singing voice. And I'm always like, Detto, like you could have been. And he always used to say, yeah, I could have been something. I could have been a star. So I'm going to name my first special after that. I could have been a star. Yeah. And shouts out to him because he was the one, because he used to always talk about it and whether he knows it or not or knew it or not, but he was a huge influence on like, no, go after what you want. Because he used to tell me all the time when I would talk about joining the Army and stuff, he was like, listen, if you have any other options, like don't. Because the way he got treated after, and, he was they would refuse to give him 100% disability and kind of screwed him around with all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I see the look on your face. You're kind of like, yeah.
Let me tell you something, bro. You just revved me up, bro. You just revved me up. Let me tell you something. I was in that disability office. Bro, I almost smacked this shit out of this Irish woman.
Really?
This fat, disgusting, fucking, never worked out in her life, never sacrificed. I'm not going to say never sacrificed anything, but there's no way she has children. This is the ugliest person I've ever met in my life. Bro, her whole job was to make sure, like I didn't realize it then, but I realize it now, was to make sure I got nothing.
Yeah.
That was her job.
My grandfather shattered his right leg jumping out of airplanes for the 82nd Airborne when they were first starting to do this shit.
Which means there was no guidance.
Yeah.
He was a test, no offense, but he was like a test dummy.
Yeah, so his whole right leg was actually shorter than his left. It took him like 60 years of fighting with the VA and stuff to finally get on 100% disability. He finally got it in his 80s and like 3 months later he died. When he finally got it, he died. But he used to always tell me, if you have any other options, don't do that. And so that's why
Bro.
that's another big reason why I've always been like so fearless about like, no, we're just going to do comedy. Like that's what we're doing.
Well,
but I remember.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, I remember as a sophomore in college, after football was done and I was drinking out of control, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sign up. And I went to a recruiting office. I took the ASVAB and the guy looked at my test and goes, you could do whatever you want. And I go, well, my grandfather was a Green Beret. He goes, Special Forces? Because I scored pretty high. He goes, we'll fucking sign you up. And
You're
told
the guy,
me.
by the way, because based on what we said outside, you would have really been a special. Like a lot of people get the Special Forces contract in the beginning, right before they get to basic,
Because they want it, yeah.
No, they get a high score, and then they get through
okay.
basic, they get to basic, and your drill sergeant's like, "You're a pussy.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not Special Forces material."
Yeah.
And they take that contract away from you. But
Oh,
you're
shit.
yes,
Yeah,
but you're the kind
I'm a
of guy.
psycho. You're the kind of psycho.
You're the kind of psycho. You what we call a hoss. You know?
Okay.
You know what that? You ever heard that term?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a
I'm from the
fucking
side.
hoss, dog.
Hoss, yeah. I like that. But I went and then I sobered up because I went there kind of drunk. And then I sobered up like the next day and I was like, never mind. I was like, I don't want to do this.
Good choice.
But that was the thing was the guy, this is what we're talking about. This is why I brought it up. Because the recruiting officer was like, listen, Obama, this is like 2 years into Obama's first term.
Oh, money.
And he was like, we've got money now, but we're not going to have it in a little bit. So like, if you're going to do it right now.
Right now.
Because once he gets into like towards the end of his first term and especially into his second term, he's going to cut all the money.
Yeah, he cut. I don't know if he cut money. I don't remember.
Well, normally they don't really cut it from the defense budget because that's one of the things even Democrats are kind of like, we don't want to touch that. But he was telling me like to sign up, it was like a $50,000 because Bush put in place like a $50,000 like just bonus and like all this crazy
they
stuff.
break that up between
See, and that's the thing he wasn't telling me was I was like, wait, that's like broken up over your first contract. So it really comes out to like an extra $300-400 a month. Yeah. It's like, that's not.
Yeah. They give you like maybe if you talk to them like, nah, bro, you got to give me $15,000 up front and then break the rest up in my contract.
Yeah.
That's the way to do kind of do it.
So how did you? So you get there with your brother, you sign up, what happens?
Sign up. Yo, this is a crazy story, bro.
Let us know.
So,
Tell it.
Me and my brothers, we're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
You know, like because he also looked at, when I say my brother, he's my god brother.
Okay.
But he's adopted, like I'm adopted. He's also adopted. His mother's my godmother.
Okay.
So like she baptized me, you know, the whole shit.
Yeah. You're thick as thieves.
And I mean, since we were 3 years old, we were inseparable. Like it was just one of those bonds, bro. So I'm feeling this way, and I go to his place, and he goes, Kev, what are we doing? He just hits me with he goes, do you want to do this? Do you want to just join the military together? I heard there's like a buddy system. I said, yeah, let's go. Went to the recruiter's office.
So this is literally you have that night at work. That guy tells you that thing, and then a couple weeks later,
for the story,
well, yeah. But then a couple weeks later, you're kind of like,
not even. I mean, honestly, I don't think it was a couple weeks later. I think it was maybe that week, bro.
okay, and you're just like, yeah, let's fucking go do it.
Yeah.
Now, are you at this point? And we'll get back to some of the stories and stuff, but I want to finish this definitely. But are you at this point like? Because you're working at a restaurant in Chelsea, you're getting after it. Are you like partying and like getting after it and stuff?
Bro, this was when Wolf of Wall Street came out,
Yeah.
and I was hanging out with rich kids.
From Chelsea and stuff?
Yeah. And I wanted to throw midgets on a I was looking for that kind of life.
Yeah.
I was like,
The Jordan Belfort kind of life.
yeah, I wanted my distance from it, right? So like, I'm a poor kid. Like I don't want to say poor kid. I hate when I say that shit because I didn't feel poor.
Yeah.
Until I started hanging out with people with money.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, and there's a huge difference between like being on the low end of income and then actually being like debilitatingly poor. Like there are people that I know who like, you know, growing up in Daytona, like they were 6 kids living in one room and like sharing a bed and like didn't know where they were going to eat. And like the reason why they hated summertime was because they couldn't get free meals at school. Like that's poor.
That's poor.
Yeah. And then there are kids who I also know, which I think is kind of what you're saying is where you didn't want for anything, but then you also didn't realize like, oh, because I had friends like that where the new Xbox would come out and they'd get it that day and they'd have like games that day. And I would be like, because I grew up in an upper middle class family, but I was still like, well, we can't just drop like a G on something because we want to.
Like what we used to do for Christmases and stuff, like, yo, mom, listen, we understand we don't got money like that, but buy us the PlayStation and I'd be a gift for all three of us.
That's we used to do it because we were a little bit better off to the point where if we wanted something big, we could ask for it for Christmas or birthday, or if it was really big, Christmas and birthday together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another thing. It's like, yo, you don't got to get. You can get us. Yeah, and then whatever.
But that's what I'm saying is like that's why I completely agree with you when you catch yourself when you say poor kid, because there's like poor and then there's like, oh my God, we don't know what we're gonna eat.
And by the way, I lived a wild, like my life is crazy, bro. Like
that's why we got you on, man.
Yo, so all right, so yeah, I was partying a lot. Yeah, because I was young, I was handsome as shit, and I had no bills. I was one of the lucky Spanish kids who didn't have children in his teens. Like that happened a lot in my schools. Like everyone, I saw what's that shit on MTV?
16 and Pregnant.
16 and Pregnant.
Yeah,
bro.
Teen Mom. Yeah,
I was like, that's half my fucking school should be on that show. The first of all, make for way better TV. It'll make for way better TV. You know? This girl got pregnant.
A high school in East Harlem. Hell yeah.
Junior high, motherfucker.
Shit.
I knew bitches getting pregnant in junior high school.
Really?
30-year-old men. 30-year-old men. God, you know how much that fucks with your head as a kid when you look at a bitch you like and then you realize you got to compete with a nigga that got a car?
I used to get mad because when I was a freshman and a sophomore, all the attractive girls in our class were dating upperclassmen. You're talking about people with like jobs and 401k, well, maybe not 401ks, but like actual like disposable income.
Let's not go that far. Right? Like these motherfuckers would bring like, I couldn't afford Mr. Softy for my girl. Yeah. But this 31-year-old man got $3 to buy her a milkshake. Yeah. Bro, and I'm looking at him like, yo, you're so lucky you got dad strength on me.
So you're unencumbered. You don't have any kids. You're just hanging out, making money, partying, and then you realize you want something bigger, something more.
But I just knew that if I didn't accomplish something worth noting to other people, like that would I would fuck up my life. I'll be in the projects forever. Like I was never friends with anybody. Like I had friends in the PJs, but like it was a very tight group for me. Yeah, my brothers knew everybody. People knew me because of my brothers. Yeah, right. Like I didn't hang out there. I didn't feel like
because you had in your head. I mean, you're working in Chelsea. You're working at a nice restaurant. In your head, you had every intention to get out. Is that like that was what? Yeah,
yeah. A lot, and I feel a little shame from that, like feeling that way about my people, because they're beautiful people. Now that I look back, I have some insight and some like wherewithal. I could look back and be like, those people were honest. They were they had your back. Yeah. Like now I'm in worlds where like you don't know who has your back.
That's the thing, and I say it all the time. Like everyone dumps on Florida and talks shit about Florida, but I was the one in my family that like left. Like my older brother did too, but that's kind of a weird story. But I was like, I've got everything I need. Like I'm touring kind of, like I'm featuring for one of my best friends, Marcus Crespo. Shout out to Marcus. He's been on the show a bunch, the Gummy Bear Gangster. But I'm featuring for him a lot. I'm like getting on showcases a lot. Just kind of touring around. I'm doing comedy in the Southeast, mainly in Florida and like Georgia and stuff. And then I'm also working at a restaurant a couple days a week to like supplement my income. I've got my apartment. I've got all my friends.
That's fucking beautiful.
A 3-hour ride from the college that I went to where I played football. And then I decided like, no, I have to go to New York or LA. Like I have to get out of here. And it's the same thing. Once I got out, you're around all these people and they're talking shit about like, Florida and all this stuff, and I'm looking back like, actually, I kind of miss it. Yeah, like I had real friends down there, and like people who always looked out for me. And then you come up here, and it's like so many two-faced people, or people who will be like, "Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, get me on that show." And then behind your back, they're like, "Man, fuck that guy." Like the only reason I'm talking to him is because he has that show.
Oh, bro, that is,
bro. Anyway, woosah.
So wait, I want to tell you how I got into comedy.
Yeah.
I got it because it has to do with the Army. Yeah. So I know I have 7-8 months left on my contract. I know I'm not re-enlisting. Yeah. Because I escaped.
Did you spend it all here?
Yes.
Okay.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
Like I got into a specialized unit called the Old Guard, which is the most prestigious unit in the Army. We're the face of the infantry and in the Army.
Oh shit.
We do missions for the White House, the Pentagon. We do a lot of funerals. It's fucking crazy.
So you're the fancy guys.
Yeah.
That's why you're so hot, man. They're like, we know where we're putting this guy.
Yeah. Actually, the way I got in there was a mistake.
Was it?
It was a big mistake.
A big mistake.
But not really. But really. Because, like, first of all, when you're in the infantry, this is why I didn't want to realize. Because I gave Uncle Sam one chance in my life. You ain't take it, bitch. Now I can't give you two. Nobody that lucky.
Yeah.
Nobody that
The
lucky.
second you sign that second contract, they're like, all right, you got your orders, you're shipping out. And you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah. Bro, this is a good story. Oh my God, bro. So this is how we can go back to that. But so I'm 7 months out. I'm like, and I put on Bill Burr. You people are all the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know you were allowed to talk shit like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could talk shit. I'm a shit talker.
You recognize me? No, it's because I don't fucking work here.
Yo. Or just the gold digging whore bit.
Yeah.
Like, these are all conversations I had with my friends. I'm like,
the Rescue Dog bit. I don't know which album that's on, but that was one of my favorites.
Bro, there was.
Did you jump in the reservoir with your wingtips on? No, you went to the pound and said, give me a free dog.
Dog. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah. So that kind of come to Jesus moment I had seeing Dane, you had when you saw Bill.
When I saw Bill, I was like, because I think like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm angry.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
I see it. We were talking about it when I first showed up, but like there are certain things you see and you're like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck all of it.
I mean,
the bagel.
Like, just fucking.
We don't have to get back into
We're not going to get into it.
Kevin had a bagel situation earlier today.
Oh, boy. Fuck the service industry. No. So I see that, and I'm like, I'm going to try comedy.
And do you still have all the stuff that you wrote back when you were in high school and stuff? Or have you
No.
Okay.
I do have a bit that I remember us doing.
Yeah.
But
you didn't have like notebooks and stuff. So you were just kind of like, all right, I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to start doing comedy.
Because I'm also a lot different than I was in high school.
Absolutely.
I was in the infantry. I was in the army. Like, I lived a life.
You have real experience now, real world experience.
Yeah. Like, I jerked off in front of a dude once for money. It's crazy, bro.
It's things we do, man. The things we do. So when you get out, are you just like, all right, I'm doing it?
It's crazy. I go back to work. I'm in the infantry. Like, I'm in the arms room.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with weapons. And this guy comes in. This is the day I'm going to try comedy when I go back to New York. Kid comes downstairs to work on a machine gun. He goes and give me some pieces for the machine gun. And he goes, Kev, you like comedy? Out of nowhere. 3 years in the army, no one's ever mentioned comedy to me. He goes, you like comedy? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm running a show.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not. His name is Sandoval. I can call him. I don't have his number no more.
No, but just the way there's little things that happen in life, and obviously being sober, we call it a higher power, but other people call it whatever you want. But it's one of those weird things where it's like, oh, this might actually work out.
The universe felt like
the universe. Yeah,
yo, bro.
Someone's talking to you.
Hashem was like, yo, bro. That's for my Jews. Trying to get jobs in this industry. I love my Hashems.
So he said, do you like comedy? I book a show.
I have a show that I'm running. I said, you're not going to believe this, but this weekend, I was like, I want to try stand-up comedy. He goes, I give you a spot. Just like that.
Wow. Imagine if things were still that easy.
Dude, so.
Do you ever think about like when you were younger and things were just easier?
Easier? Yeah. I think about that all the time.
I have people on this show, people I consider friends, and they run like weekly shows. Couldn't get a spot. Hey,
running a comedy club with a friend? Sometimes I'm on a lineup. Don't get up. Oh, we ran out of time. What do you mean? We run this thing. What do you mean we ran out of time? So 2 people canceled. 2 comedians physically canceled. And how am I not up? So
you get it. So you do the spot. How did it go?
I don't do it. I chickened out.
You chickened out
3 times.
What?
He gave me 3 spots. Chickened out all 3 times.
Now, did you tell him straight up like I don't feel prepared, or did you lie, or a mixture of both?
Oh, it was like no call, no shows. Like,
oh, really? Okay.
It was like I just didn't hit him up.
Damn.
But they didn't care. This is what I did. It was a bringer show.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Can you bring 5 people?" And of course, I can bring a whole platoon of people.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
They were like, well, you're a new comic, so you're going to do 3 minutes. 3 minutes is what they were giving me. Now, in retrospect, what the fuck? But anyway, and then...
When you're brand new, though, 3 minutes can feel like an eternity.
I know.
The first 2 jokes don't land, and you're like,
So then I told myself, I was like, all right, I got to New York and I still have this in my head. I want to do comedy, but I gave myself a deadline.
That's smart.
So I was like, if by the end of July, you don't get on stage, you throw this dream away, you never think about it again, enjoy it. Don't try it then. Because you're not serious about it. You being pussy, it's not you. Bro, so July 26th, I call my little brother. I hate saying my little brother, he's fucking a grown man. But my brother, and I'm like, hey, listen, I want to, I want to try stand up. There's this open mic, Broadway Comedy Club at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday. Can you show up so I don't chicken out?
Yeah, accountability. Yeah.
I don't want to chicken out in front of my little brother.
Yeah. And what year is this? Do you remember?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017. And I'm walking, like, this is the time, New York is mass scaffolding.
Mm.
And I'm walking through the scaffolding. It feels like I'm walking underneath a tunnel of a football stadium. Like, it feels like my heart is beating. I could see Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're walking down.
And
53rd, yeah.
And I start turning around.
Oh, no!
I said, fuck this. And my brother gives me, I see you, bitch. I see you, bitch. Are you going to pussy out right now? Or are you going to do that in front of your little brother?
Oh, shit. So he called you out.
Oh, he called me out, turned back around. So I can't have him. My brother's, by the way, my little brother, I look up to him.
Yeah.
That dude's a bad motherfucker. He's a undefeated kickboxer. He dropped out of high school to pursue fighting. Was a bad motherfucker.
Was this the guy you enlisted with?
Nah.
No, different guy.
He also enlisted, but then he went crazy in the army. But that's another story for another day. And he dropped out of high school, became a fighter, decided he wanted to go back to school just so he has a degree.
Yeah.
He got his GED, his associates, and got into NYU in around a year.
Wow.
While working 2 jobs and training 4 or 5 hours a day. So
he does not play.
Oh, he don't fuck around.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, he's a horse.
I was just about to say
He's a fucking horse, bro.
God damn it. See, this is what we talked about earlier. Got to go with your instinct. I was going to say it, and then I didn't say it, and then you said it. Just got to go with the instinct. God, that would have been a great callback.
That would have been a great callback. But baby, I got you, boy. That's right, boy. So I go on stage. There's like 7 people there. There's a motherfucker named Eddie Spaghetti and shit. And there's like 7 to 10 people, whatever.
Yeah, all comics.
All comics except for I'm the only one that brought someone. And I went up there and whatever I thought I was gonna say was out the window.
Oh, really?
And I was just going on a tangent. And my brother was like, I come off stage and we leave, and he saw every comic and they were all terrible.
Yeah.
And he goes to me, he goes, I wanted to tell you that this should be like a one and done thing for you. Like, don't do this. But you could do it. I could see it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that means a lot coming from him. He says carries weight. Yeah.
He says carried weight. At the time, carried a lot of weight. He's a smart genius. He's a genius, but whatever, he's insane now.
So then you decided, I'm going to do this.
Oh, I was a balls to the wall.
So then, okay, so that's what I wanted to ask. So are you still, so at this point, 2017, how old are you now? You're 27?
Now? I'm 31.
No, I'm talking about 2017.
Oh,
well, let's just, I was going to say
27, 28.
It's simple math, and I'm like, wait, 31 minus, okay. So you're 27 at the time, and you think like, all right, like balls to the wall. So are you doing...
I'm taking advantage of the GI Bill.
Mike's, okay, so tell me what happened.
I'm taking advantage of the GI Bill, which means that to go to school, they pay me like a stipend every month.
Okay.
To, depend, like a livable wage based off the income, the average income of the school, like around the school.
Okay.
Which was in Manhattan. So they got to pay me.
Got 'em.
$2,100 a month.
Damn.
Plus they pay for school and books. Like that was separate. So I was living, I want to say below my means, I was living at my means. You know what I mean?
Right there.
Right there. And I had a girlfriend at the time who I was living with.
Are you living in Manhattan or still in East Harlem?
Oh, bro, I was in Queens.
Okay.
I was in Flushing, Queens, living cheaply, but still making the money as if I was living in Manhattan.
Yeah, because it's around the school.
Yeah, and I I flunked out of school. I was not going to classes. That was a means to an end. Like I was like, I'm going to do this until the rails fall off and I need to get a real job. And but I don't care about school. I'll show up when I needed to show up. I passed some classes, so I didn't flunk out right away. And
are you doing comedy all the time at this point?
Okay. I'm going up like 6-7 times a day.
Okay.
Like going nuts. My girlfriend's like, yo, this guy's crazy. Like,
yeah.
And then part of it had to do with my I didn't deploy, bro, but that army shit does fuck with your brain.
Yeah.
You're a different person.
Well, they try to rewire you. That's why they don't like people coming in older than like 25, because it's hard to rewire those people.
I couldn't be in the army right now, bro. I look at someone, what the fuck you just say to me, pussy?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's why it's important to get people when they're younger, because then it's easy to rewire them. To be like, no, this is how you live your life.
Yeah. And none of those people, by the way, don't listen to those people.
So I wanted to talk to you, because then you start doing the stand-up, and then you end up having, obviously, to get like a regular job, and then that's just been what you've been doing for the last 5 years.
Technically, listen, they listen to the podcast. They listen to. I lasted a year there, so
you don't got to blow up any spots.
No, I'm not gonna. Who cares?
Who cares?
In the grand scheme of things, I figure
I say
it out.
that all the time when like a table gets shitty with me. I'm always like, I'll quit right now and kick the shit out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm a grown ass man. I've been arrested 8 times. I spent months in jail. Like, are you really talking to me like this?
Oh, I gotta tell you about the time I went to jail. I spent a day or two, 2 days in jail.
What happened?
With my brother. So
was drinking involved?
So
hey,
this is around the time I'm working in Chelsea and I'm hanging out with these rich kids.
So this is before the army.
This is before the army.
Okay.
And I got a story after the army.
Yeah.
But I didn't know my brother was doing drugs.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was like one of my brothers. I didn't know he was like taking he had like a back problem and he started self-medicating.
Okay.
Right. It started off with weed, probably some drinking. But he was like 16, 17 years old. And my mother, and I was like 22 or some shit like that. It doesn't matter. He was still in high school and I was an adult.
Yeah.
But my brother's 6 foot and he's a built kid.
Yeah.
You know? And my mother was leaving to Florida, like for vacation. She just wanted to go. She was going to leave my little brother with me. And so she said, Kevin, I should let you know I was on a bender.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a whole weekend on a bender.
When did you start drinking, just for context?
I started drinking at 15, but surprisingly, at 15, I had a lot of self-control.
Oh, really?
Because I respect my mother.
Yeah.
So, like, I never wanted to come home and I was drunk. And I never wanted to catch me like that.
That's another big thing. And it might, I don't know if it sounds stereotypical, but that's another big thing in Latin families. Just like respect for your, especially for your mother, your father. Like there's a comic that I saw at an open mic where he was talking, maybe it was Nardo. It was somebody who was talking about like how suburban white kids would be like, shut up, mom, you dumb bitch. He's like, you don't even think about saying that to your parents in a Latin household.
I said it I called my mother a bitch behind her back.
But never to her face.
And one of my siblings snitched on me.
Oh, really?
Bro, that was like 4 months of torture, bro. Jeez. Because she told the whole family.
Oh, no.
Bro, it was like living in Guantanamo Bay. Like I was kneeling on rice 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I'll have my hands up on the walls when I wasn't doing nothing. Like it was crazy. Like disrespecting my mother was like, it was hell to pay.
Yeah.
Now, after a certain age, it's like, listen, you 5 foot, bitch. Like move up.
Yeah, once you get older, but I'm talking about when you were 15, you were like, all right, I don't want to be disrespectful. So you had a lot of self-control. And then fast forward, now you're 22, you're supposed to be looking after your little brother. And then
I'm on a bender. Like I'm drinking. My mother's like, and I don't show.
This is how long did you work at that restaurant in Chelsea? This is when you're working in Chelsea still too?
2 years maybe.
Okay, so this is
like the first year.
Okay.
Right. And
it's new, it's exciting. Yeah. You're taking the subway downtown.
Yeah, dude, it's a good time.
Yeah,
it's a good time, bro. Like, and I'm making money. I don't have the only person I had a cell phone bill, which was $60.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm making like anywhere, you know, if it was a bad week, it's $250 that week or $700 that week.
Yeah.
Right? Like, or $1,000. You know, it wasn't crazy money, but it was great money for me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, I live here in an apartment in Midtown Manhattan, and I'm kind of around the same, like, a bad week for me, same kind of thing. That was like $500-600, and then a great week is like $1,200-1,300. And it's like, that's That's more than enough to survive. More than enough.
Especially, I don't know, you have kids?
No.
No, so you don't
That's
have
what,
kids?
yeah. I got to make sure I make $13.50 so I can split my rent with my girl, and everything else is just solid.
And that's so. I was like invited to an orgy that weekend. I was like at a sex. I didn't participate because I was scared, but like I'm seeing like people fucking sofas, and it was crazy that weekend. And
then you get home and
I haven't slept in 48 hours.
Yeah,
I'm coming home. All I want to do is take a shower and go to sleep for another 25 hours. Right, like, and my mother comes. She goes, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you his school money. I'm gonna give you the whole thing for the week." She was giving him something like $10 a day. I don't know why. I'm like, why are you giving him this much money? It's none of my business. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, sure. And I'm 48 hours on a bender. Like, I'm not thinking straight.
And she just gives you like $100.
Like, but all in 5s and 10s.
Okay.
You know? And I think she was leaving for weeks. So she gave me a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, are you good with money? I said, I'm good. I don't got to worry about me. You don't got to worry about me at all. I don't know why I just whispered. But I go into the room, and for some reason I go, look, she gave me your money. Don't take it. I'm going to put it in my drawer. And then I go to hop in the shower, and he goes to my mom, and he starts cursing her out. He's my baby brother.
Yeah.
So he has privileges that I don't understand at the time.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of, she's done. Like, she's done raising children. He's 15. He's old enough.
Yeah.
And he's cursing at her. And again, I'm out of my mind right now. And I'm like, why is he fucking cursing? And I blame myself because I started this. Because like I showed him that he goes, why don't you trust me with the money? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh, so he's upset that she
Yeah.
didn't just give it to him.
Yeah, because he wants to buy drugs. He's like, and he knows me. He goes, if you take it, like, don't ask me for money.
Yeah. If you blow it all, I'm not
that's
helping.
on you. So
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that. Maybe, again, he was on drugs too.
Yeah.
Like, he was probably on some pill or coming off of a pill or some shit like that. And I go to him, like, yo, what are you doing, bro? The fuck's your problem, son? He goes, and I left this at the store. Like, me and my brothers are like, you know, I used to box. He also used to box. Like, we were all into fighting.
Yeah.
You know?
He came up in East Harlem, dog.
Yeah,
You can handle yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want that rumor out there because I don't need nobody trying to test it.
No, yeah.
So I'm pussy now.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get no
I say this all the time on stage, but I rely on the social structure because New York City and jail have the same social structure. So I rely on that. Being 6'1", 230 pounds with all these weird scars on my body, that's what I rely on. Because then they look at me and they go, it's not worth it.
This guy has been through some shit.
Yeah, he might be a bitch now, but we don't know.
Yeah.
And he could kill us.
So
Rip our arms off and beat us to death with him.
my mom doesn't, like, she knows we some bad motherfuckers, but she don't know.
Yeah.
So he starts saying some shit, and siblings know how to get under your skin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm saying, what you say?
Oh yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
And you just go off.
We just start swinging.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta give my brother credit. He did not want to hit me. He doesn't really hit me. He's like grabbing at me.
Yeah.
He's trying to like diffuse the situation. And then he's diffusing it so well. I'm missing a lot, by the way. Right? It's not like I caught him. I might have caught him once. And then like I tripped him and I realized how dumb this was.
Yeah.
But I'm also really angry and I'm out of my mind. And I'm like, I want to hurt him. Because I don't want no one talking to my mom like that either.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, Kevin, no, stop it. I'm going to call the police. And she calls the police.
Oh my God, she called.
She called the cops. Because to her, she's 70 years old at the time.
Yeah.
So to her, she's just seeing these animals going off. She doesn't know that I'm missing punches. She just sees me swinging.
Yeah. And that's something that can be jarring in person.
And I'm on top of him. Like, he's on the ground. I'm like trying to throw an elbow. It was crazy.
So the cops show up?
And my dog, and like I knew to leave, but again, I'm 48 hours of no sleep on a bender. Like, cops show up. I have a scratch on my face, right? I'm bleeding on my arms because he's like trying to hold me, like,
yeah.
You know. And he's also has like a scratch on his face or whatever, maybe a bloody lip. I don't know, something. You know, there's physical damage. Cops walk in and he goes, "Listen, unfortunately, we gotta take both of y'all in." I said, "What you mean?"
What are you talking about?
Nothing's happening.
We're just hanging out.
We chilling now. Look at that. We not heavy breathing or nothing. This guy's like, our sergeant is right outside.
The sergeant, man. That's what got me a few times.
And he goes, we know this was just a squabble. We know y'all cool now. But now we got to take you in because y'all both here. If one of y'all left.
You did a report. No one presses charges.
It's fine. Yeah. But I was there. He was there. They took us in. My brother's like, I think he's 17 at the time. We go to the bookings in Chambers Street.
Okay.
We're sitting in the same cell together with 50 other people.
Oh, yeah.
And just like the movies, at like 3 a.m, people start talking about, what you in here for?
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And they get to my brother, and he goes, I had a fight with my brother. He goes, wait, oh, he left? He goes, nope, he's right there. He goes, y'all niggas in the same cell? Hey, yo, fight it out here. Yo, bro, it was crazy, bro. Like, they started, like, clowning us.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are stupid, bro.
How did you end up getting out? Did your mom come and bail you out?
No.
I didn't think so.
Bail me out. Sorry. My mother had a strict and hard rule. If you go to jail, you just in jail.
Yeah.
You know?
So did you guys get ROR'd?
Well, I don't know what that.
Released on your
the
reconnaissance?
DA.
Okay.
Right. We went to the DA, and I was upset because I was like on the I just signed a contract, I think, to join the military.
Okay, so this was like that.
Like, yeah. So I'm looking, and I'm like, fuck, I just fucked up my life. Military, they're gonna. So she goes, I heard you're going to join the military. I said, yes. She goes, why did you have this fight? I was like,
this is the other thing that blows my mind. It was two brothers like getting into a little scuffle at home. Like, why do we have paperwork involved now?
Dog.
Like, that's so frustrating to me.
If you don't get arrested in the next 6 months, this is going to be off your record.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Oh, it was still on there?
When I officially signed, I think it was about to sign. Something happened when I signed to join the Army. I got a call from the recruiter one day. He goes, hey, man, you told me you don't have anything on your record. I said it was sealed. And he goes, yeah, we have access to the sealed record, stupid.
This is the federal government.
Yeah. So he goes, what did you do? I said, okay, got in a fight with my it was a domestic case, domestic violence case. That's what it technically is.
Yeah.
He goes, he had the fucking sergeant major of this station wants to meet you now. I go into the recruiting station and he goes, yo, man, you got, like, they had these codes, like C-72. You did a C-72. I said, what the fuck is that? And he reads it to me. And he goes, you molested a kid? And I'm like, no, motherfucker, I didn't molest no kid. I beat up my brother. And he goes, and he looks back at the paperwork and he goes, oh, holy shit, my bad. I saw C-71 and whatever, and I got it confused. Fuck. And he calls it, because they were going to.
Oh, so they thought. So they're already down the rabbit hole. They thought it was something else. So they've already made calls and like put things in place.
And honestly, they just made these, I think they just wanted to shit on me. They just wanted to be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You don't belong in my army and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then when they realized that they made a mistake, dude, you should have seen this dude went pale because he called someone that he was not supposed to call.
Yeah.
And it was a whole shit show. Like, well, I didn't care. Yeah, I left. I was like, all right, I gotta go now.
Figure it out, guys. So,
great times.
We talked about this before you came on, but this is something that I love to hear. Because a lot of times when people come on the show, they go, oh, do I have to be sober? And I'm always like, no, absolutely not. The show is based in like crazy stories, whether you're sober or not. And you go, good, because I'm still partying.
Yeah.
And so from when you were because you said when you first started drinking at 15, you were very respectful. You didn't ever want to come home drunk.
For a long time.
And then I'm assuming in your 20s when you were down in Chelsea, things got a little crazy.
Well, this was interesting. It was mostly just lack of sleep because I wasn't drinking that hard.
Yeah, but you just were...
and I didn't want to do any. To this day, I've never done coke.
Oh wow!
I just smoke weed. I do shrooms and I drink.
Yeah.
Right. But my mother, I was put up for adoption.
Yeah.
My mother, I didn't know that she was an alcoholic. I just learned that.
Oh really? So that's something.
I just learned my mother's a alcoholic. I thought she was a coke addict, but it didn't I didn't know that you can't have one without the other, right? Like you're not a coke, you're not a coke head without being an alcoholic.
Yeah, it's addictive behavior.
So my mom's. These are all things I'm learning now in the last.
This
10
is like
years,
right? Real time. This is happening.
Yeah. So because I learned like 6 years ago, I survived an abortion.
Oh shit!
I was supposed to be a twin. I learned that I was actually in another foster home before. I thought I was like my foster parent was the person that adopted me.
Okay.
And I thought I was the only home. Turns out I was in another foster home, and because I have weird memories that like
you can't
was
explain.
that a dream?
Yeah,
or
you
was
can't
that?
figure out.
And then someone told me, "Oh no, you didn't start out here." And I was like, "Hey, that would have been good to know, man."
Are your adoptive parents very open about like everything that happened?
Very. Well, she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because during the process.
Was it just your mom?
What do you mean?
When you were adopted, were your parents together? Your adoptive parents, were they together, or did you just your mom adopt
I have a stepdad, but he wasn't in the picture till like I was like, he was always in the picture, but not really.
Okay.
They didn't get married till late in life.
The only reason I asked is because I find this fascinating. I didn't know if your mom just like
She was a foster.
Okay.
She was a foster.
and then had foster
person.
parent, and then ended up adopting you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
didn't know if she was just like, yeah, I'm
No.
lonely. Let me go down to the foster home and grab some kids.
This was about the money.
Yeah.
You know, and she was great as a foster parent. Like she did her job. She fostered a lot of children, the few that she wanted to adopt. But my brother had fetal alcohol syndrome when he was born, and she was with him nonstop, day and night for 6 straight months. And she grew had a bond with him that she couldn't explain. And she was like, and people were telling her, you can't adopt 3 boys.
And she said, no, she's doing it.
Well, she wanted to adopt just my little brother.
Oh, shit.
The agency was like, you can't. They're brothers. They know of each other. We keep siblings together no matter what.
Oh, so this is your brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so she I know this. I know that she wanted to just adopt him.
Damn, man.
And I'm the older brother. I have an older brother, but he was in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not even true anymore. I'm lying to you because I just found out that they hid him in a refrigerator when whoever called child services on my mom, they hid him for some reason, and they let them take us.
What?
Yeah.
You're all over the place.
Yo, dude, it's but I'm learning all of this in the last decade.
Well, and it's one of those things where, as comics, we talk about it all the time that we're wired a little differently. Like, we seek validation from others because we never found it when we were kids. And nothing sums that up more than
I had to convince my parents to adopt me and my brother.
And then also the fact that like you were in a situation where your actual biological mother tried to abort you.
Yeah.
You were in a different foster situation. Then you come into this foster situation and then have to convince your mom to adopt you, not just your little brother. So your entire life has been like, hey guys, like, what's up?
Whole time. And she loved, listen, she was a great mother. And I'm learning, because I heard Bill Burr say this. He said that we look at our parents and we remember it through a child's eyes.
Yeah.
And we're not. And
it took me to 34 to finally, 33 last year. I had a conversation with my dad, and it took me to 33 to realize he did the best he could do.
My mother grew up without Google. My mother didn't have the internet to be like, am I doing the right thing? Should I look this up?
Well, my parents got divorced at 12, and I remember for so long I carried this weird chip on my shoulder, like, fuck them, and I was a mama's boy, so it was mainly directed at my father. And then just as a dumb kid, in my 20s, getting drunk every day, being like, oh, he never cared about me, blah blah blah, and all this weird twisted shit that as a kid you make up. Especially us, we're very imaginative people, so we make up all these crazy scenarios in our head. And then finally at 30 years old, when I got sober and started really looking at my life, I was like, oh, he did everything he possibly could do. Just because I wasn't because I had friends whose parents paid for all this stuff and took care of him, and because he didn't do that, I equated that in my head to oh, he doesn't care about me. Yeah.
Care.
And I was like, I talk to him about it now to this day, so I don't feel bad saying it. But I talk to him now, and I like feel terrible that in my 20s I was such a fucking prick.
Yeah, but you're an idiot at 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so like we were so dumb.
And to his credit, he's always just been there, been like, all right, okay, well, yeah,
sure,
all right, yeah,
sure,
I'm the
buddy.
bad guy. I'm the bad guy. And now, like I said, when I got sober at 30, him and I's relationship I kind of went back to him, and I was like, hey, man. Like, my bad.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. All right.
Hey, dog. My liver was acting up. I was drinking a lot.
I was a little crazy. But now we have a great relationship, and we have for years. But again, it all goes back to like what you said about what Burr said, which is we always look at it through the prism of being a child.
Yeah. Now, was my mother wrong a lot? Yes. Was she wrong? Because there's things that she did where it's like, man, you don't know how badly that was affecting me. Like, she would say shit like, because she was raising 3 boys, 3 Dominican, high testosterone, should be on the field. Not in the projects in a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, we should be, we were crazy. We were out of our minds. And the only defense she had after we got big was, like, in the pain, like, her hitting us didn't hurt no more, was like, I would put you back up for adoption. Don't think that you're safe.
Damn,
right?
dude.
Now the thing
that's a fucking ace.
Now the thing with that is that fucks with your brain.
Oh yeah,
that fucked with me for a long time, and it was hard for me to forgive her. Then you realize this bitch didn't have Google. She didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, and she had no other way to kind of control the situation.
Exactly.
So when you're,
and I don't hate my biological mother. I never.
Have you met her?
Yes, multiple times.
Oh shit.
Is it awkward? 1,000%.
It's gotta be.
It is really awkward, bro. I tried to develop a relationship with her, but now I'm upset with her. It's weird. I've never been upset with her till I started comedy.
Yeah.
And because I was thinking, like, it just hit me one day. I was like, damn, bitch, you gave up 4 children and did nothing before that time. Like, you didn't marry a millionaire. You didn't
chase a dream.
Yeah. You just abandoned children. And then you didn't stop at 1 or 2. You fucking abandoned 4. We're not quadruplets. Like, every 2 years you have to re-abandon a child. So, and you did nothing with this time. You don't own anything. You didn't start a business. You didn't there's nothing to show for this.
Well, and that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, was when that guy told you that at work, you're like, I can't live my whole life and not accomplish anything.
Anything. At least I don't brag about the Army.
I didn't even know you were in the Army until you had sent me the thing about drinking with some lower ranking individuals.
Oh, yeah.
What happened with that when you were in the Army?
My man, so I'm trying to build morale and shit. I'm trying to like, nah, we boys, don't worry about this. This is nothing. We're not deploying no time soon. Guys, let's have fun. I know it sucks. It sucks to suck, but we don't always got to suck. Let's have fun this weekend. And I'm going to make y'all my famous margaritas. Right? My margarita's delicious.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I make the best margarita of all time. And you're going to get fucked up. Right? The problem is you don't taste the alcohol.
Uh-oh.
Right? You don't know that there's alcohol in there. Believe me, there's triple sec and there's a lot of tequila in that motherfucker. Okay? And what you do to combat the taste is you add orange juice.
Okay.
Right? Orange juice and cranberry juice, but like a splash of cranberry.
Just to, neutralize the acidity.
Yeah. So I get these motherfuckers hammered, and it's a good time. We're doing karaoke.
Where are you at?
We're in the barracks.
Okay.
That's why I felt safe doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no one's going to act crazy.
Where were you
Fort
stationed?
Myers, Virginia.
Okay.
By Arlington Cemetery.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful. I mean, it's a fucking beautiful base. Like, it's interesting because, like, the most high-ranking officials live there.
Oh, wow.
So, like, it's like being around, like, kind of being around military celebrities all day long.
Yeah. So you guys are getting fucked up in the base.
I mean, when I mean fucked up, bro, I mean, somebody invited, like, this hookers who brought a midget, a female hooker midget. Like, it was a wild, Wild experience, bro. But that night, we drinking, and for some reason, I forget his name, and it don't matter. But this soldier, this private, just started doing dishes. And we start ragging on him. Because it's just out of nowhere. You know, we all drinking, having a good time. He just started doing dishes. And we should have left him alone.
Uh-oh. What's your rank at this point?
I was a corporal.
Okay.
And which means I'm a specialist.
Yeah.
Which doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like a lateral.
It's a lateral move.
Yeah. I was like, if I would have re-enlisted, it would have forced me to become a sergeant.
Yeah.
But nah. Not enough money. Not enough money, too much responsibility. And I was leaving anyway. Anyway, so we're bothering him. And this kid, like, there's something I love about this kid because he's a hustler. You could tell he's a hustler. I could tell he's a hustler. And he's always scamming, right? And but he got really upset, like really angry, and he starts crying.
Oh shit!
I'm like, why are you crying, bro? He goes, bro. Yeah, I was in charge of the arms room at the time.
Yeah.
So we have a rule: you can have guns. We're in Virginia, but you can't have it in the barracks.
Okay.
You got to check it in with me. Right? And I'm going to stash it away. And when you want it, you want to go to range or some shit, you sign it out. But everything has paperwork. Right? So we know that if you do some wild shit, you know, we have our asses covered. Whatever.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He starts crying. I got an Uzi. I got an Uzi on the roof. I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah. I'm like, you're not even supposed to have this kind of weapon on base.
That's not even, that's not a...
I got an Uzi. I said, why are you telling me
That's not like military. Uzis aren't military issue.
He does some. Well, it's not about. You can have your own personal weapons, right?
Yeah.
But why do you have a Uzi?
Why? That's what I'm saying.
So something happened. It's just I haven't really told the story, but like.
So he's drunk. He's crying, talking about Uzi on the roof.
I said, bro, how about this? Does anyone else know you have a Uzi? He goes, no. I go, then just give it to me on Monday. No harm, no foul. If they say you can't have a Uzi,
because why would you have an Uzi?
Then give it to one of your friends that live off post. But right now we're drinking. Don't tell nobody else you have an Uzi. So then, I'm thinking everything's good, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I hear, boom, 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 boom. Like something fucking falls.
Yeah.
In his room. We run into his room. He's on the ground like this. He's going into where he supposedly has an Uzi. And he's trying to get back up. And I'm like, is he about to use this? And I just grab him. And I just start putting him in a chokehold, wrap my legs around his waist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's turning red. And people are like, get off of him, Kev. I'm like, no. He has a gun up there. And he goes, now they're looking at me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean and why do you know he has a gun up there? I said, he just told me 10 minutes ago. I didn't know he was going to go fucking grab it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to put him to sleep. But I'm drunk as fuck, bro. I'm drunk. I'm tired. We did like a 10-mile run this morning, right?
Yeah.
We did all the push-ups in the world, bro. Like, I'm not that, I feel weak, right?
Yeah, you're exhausted.
I'm exhausted. I can't choke him out. Like, he's also a trained soldier. Like, This dude is also in crazy great shape. So, like, bro, every time I let go, he starts fighting to get that gun.
Why is he going after?
I don't know, bro. I don't fucking know.
What happened?
I said, we finally put him to sleep or whatever. I think we tied him up or we taped him to the bed.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Like, I think we actually taped him into the bed. We go up there. There's no fucking Uzi up there.
Oh, my God.
The next morning, not the next morning, like I sober up. I go and I'm banging on his fucking door. Because I need to know what the fuck that was about.
Yeah.
And he goes, I forgot I gave the Uzi to somebody.
Oh, my God. But why was he even going up there in the first place?
That's what I don't know. And that's scary.
So you never figured that out? You never asked him like, hey,
no harm, no foul.
So you just dropped it?
Of course.
Yeah.
There's no, because also I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I don't need my rank taken away, my pay. Because you get in trouble that big, like your money goes away. They give you this thing called Article 15.
Yeah, it's where they bump you down, right?
They bump you down, take away your money, put you on staff duty. Staff duty is when you work 24-hour shifts. And they make you do that two or three times a week.
Damn.
So like it's fucking horrible. I was like, dude, and I like at the time, and then that dude end up being like a real piece of shit. He fucking end up stealing people's Kevlars and like their fucking
flak jackets,
their vests,
Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
Bulletproof vests, and like I'm like, dog. Like he trying to sell them, and he got kicked out of the army.
Okay.
Still like him though. It was kind of fun to be around.
God damn.
Very fun to be around.
That's insane. So let's fast forward because we've got a few more minutes now. Let's fast forward. So now you're 31. You're doing comedy in New York, and you're still doing it. Like you're still going out. You're still having a good time. But you said you're kind of more adult. Your exact words, I think, were I drink like an adult now.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Like just more responsibly?
Well, my tolerance is high.
Yeah.
Right? So like responsible is like, I have 7. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to 30. I don't need to go to 14 or 15. Or like not 7. 7 might be like, that's like, I need to go home and I need to take an Uber.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to take the train. I I don't need to do that to myself. I'm also experimenting with more mushrooms. Like this is the first, I just started doing mushrooms and hallucinogens because where I'm from, that shit was like demonized harshly.
Yeah, because there's certain areas where, like I know in Colorado, I've got some friends that live out there, and I've got some buddies back in Florida where they like microdose. Like mushrooms are like a common everyday thing. And then I also know people who grew up in kind of the Daytona, like, you know, the not so nice areas and stuff where it's like, oh no, we smoke weed and drink. Like we don't touch anything else. Like that's your fucking
You were told
mind.
that you lose your mind if you do it. And some people have, but those people have like now with like thank God for our Lord and Savior Joe Rogan.
I knew you were gonna do it. As soon as you said thank God for our Lord, I was like, he's gonna say Rogan.
I've learned a lot through him and listening to his podcast with like, you know, Terrence McKenna and Duncan Trussell, and they talk about him. Like, you know what? I don't have any clear cut mental disorders, you know, unlike the rest of comedy apparently. Yeah. But
that's the thing, is it enhances something that's already there. So I've always been nervous to take mushrooms because I have hyper anxiety, like crazy, like diagnosable levels of anxiety. And people always go, oh yeah, I have anxiety too. I get nervous on planes. And I'm always like, no, my anxiety is like I wake up from a nightmare. I think it really happened. I vomit in my lap. Like what the fuck? Yeah, like it's bad. And
I had a weird nightmare last night.
So, but that's why I've never done mushrooms. Because people always go, oh, you have to be in a good headspace. I'm like, I don't even know what that looks like, a good headspace.
Yeah, when people say shit like that, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
So when was the first time you actually did mushrooms?
My buddy Josh Pallett.
Okay.
One of the funniest human beings on the planet. Best stories you've ever heard in your life. Josh Pallett. He goes, Kev. And I was always scared.
Yeah.
He goes, 2 mushrooms with me. And we've been drinking. I said, is this a good combination? He goes, the best.
Classic. The best.
The best. So he gives me mushrooms. But he's a savage. This guy's been doing things since he was 12 years old, 11 years old. Like, his tolerance for things is crazy. And he goes, Kev, you're a little overweight. You need a little more. You know? I'm like, I'm popping. And I start feeling good after an hour. I'm like, this is awesome, bro. He's making me laugh harder than I've ever laughed in my life. And then he made me, he starts, because he's a guy that he'll just do things.
Yeah.
So we're walking. It's like winter in New York and I'm sweating. The muscles are really hitting.
Yeah.
Right? Things are like moving, they're breathing, you know, and I never experienced that before. And then he just takes off running. And he's running. We're in Tribeca.
Okay.
We just finished a comedy show. And he's running, turning behind and pointing at me and goes, this Dominican man's accosting me, and just starts running through Tribeca and yelling that. And I fall on the floor laughing. I thought I shit my pants. But it was just a sweat. And I really, for like an hour, I was like, I shit my pants and I just got to live with it. because I did not. The high was so good.
You were just like, I'm in it, man.
I'm in it, and it doesn't smell, so I'm just gonna keep going.
How often do you do mushrooms now?
When, much like drinking when I was younger, I wanted to, like, you know.
For special occasions, you don't want to abuse it.
But then I turned 31.
Yeah.
And something happened. Something just said, you got to do mushrooms more.
So now you just do them more?
I do them like every 2 weeks. And
Okay.
And I'm macro.
Okay.
So when I do it, I'm doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took like just.
Yeah, I've got friends that do them. I was saying earlier, friends that do the micro dose where they like mix it with their tea and they have that every single morning. And they're like, yeah, it levels me out. That's to me like when people go out and have like a glass of wine with dinner. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Like either we're going to do it or we're not going to do it.
Let me tell you something. I'm learning, like, if I'm eating, I don't need to drink.
Yeah.
But if I'm eating, don't drink because I don't feel the fucking drink.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of drinking
exactly
is to feel the drink. And if I had 17 wings, I'm not feeling any fucking drink.
I used to literally not eat all day. So when I got off of work, I would have 3 shots and I'd be zooming. Like, people are always like, yeah, let's go out to eat and drink
Have
some
drinks.
wine with dinner and some I work in the restaurant industry. I work at a very swanky steakhouse. It's always cocktails and a couple bottles of wine with dinner. And they're eating so much. And these people will still get fucked up. But I'm like, you're going to feel like garbage tomorrow.
Yeah. And like, I'm doing like the alcoholic watching their weight thing where I'm drinking tequila sodas.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to do vodka, just straight up. Vodka water.
Vodka water, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I was drinking vodka sodas for like almost a year. Mainly because of Bert Kreischer. Like, oh, he should be way bigger than he is, and he's not. So
maybe this works. Yeah.
Maybe this works. And then something dawned on me, wait, I can't eat starch like that. But I'm going to take this potato, liquid and drink it, and that's going to be healthier? No, I can't.
You're right with tequila because it's plant-based. There you go.
There we go, baby. Keeping it keto.
Keeping it keto!
I don't even know that's true. I'm just talking shit out here.
This is fun, man.
Dude, this is
Thanks for coming on.
Dude, I am so
Plug everything
fucking
one
happy.
more time.
Doped Up and Dined, the Sunday morning smoke show, out every Sunday at around 11 a.m. is the round table of fuckery. We got to get you on that, motherfucker.
I'm down.
Let me see. Doped Up and Dine, Doped Up Comedy Club, 66 Greenwich, Friday and Saturdays. Shows at seatings at 9, shows at 9:30. Look at the motherfucking lineups. If you're an open micer, don't fucking ask me to get on the line. We have a booker now, so I can't even book myself on it.
2 people canceled. When you said earlier, 2 people canceled. They physically didn't show up. How am I not on the lineup?
Anyway, and I'm a maniac, guys. I'm gonna be.
Where's your social media?
Oh yes, ITS Kev Sanchez on Instagram. ITS Kev Sanchez on Twitter. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel soon. I want to be. Honestly, I think I want to be the biggest. I'm gonna be the biggest YouTube star in New York.
There you go.
There's not enough YouTube stars out here.
There's not. There's definitely there's a vacuum.
There's a vacuum. No, let me stop. I do want to be a YouTube star in New York City, though.
Oh, God.
I really do. I want to do it because, one, ain't nobody like me on YouTube right now. There ain't nobody who, and I want to, I want to bring that Dipset energy. To YouTube. Like, I want to bring that. Yeah, I want to bring like Dipset, Purple City Bird Gang shit. Like, I want to smack the shit out of some people, put it online.
Mix YouTube with kind of how you came up.
Yeah, well, how I came up. I want to do some shit where, like, I'm a real New Yorker. I haven't done any touristy shit in my life. And I just want to put that on film and see what happens. I'm a member of the Met and the Natural History Museum. We should film it. Yeah, come with me. We out.
All right.
I'd love to do that with you.
Thank you, everybody, so much for listening.
Me,
of course, man. I appreciate it. At Brennan T Comedy on all social media. BrennanTComedy.com. Got dates coming up. Check the website. One Man Show will be out in January, so keep an eye out for that. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
My man.
That was fun, dude.
Fucking fun, bro.